every stumbling block is actually a stepping stone. Verve in your vision helps you see nothing but possibilities. And verve in your hand, well, let's just say that's how you get rewarded for not giving up on you. So, no matter what you're into, verve is key to opening the doors you want. So, have you got verve?
30 seconds.
Verve, the rewarding way to make payments.
Mics are up, the studio silence show.
And good morning to you once more, Lagos. You're tuned in and listening to Smooth Breakfast on Smooth 98.1. Right now, it is 16 minutes gone past 8 this fantastic Tuesday, the 14th of August, which means it is time for entertainment inside the Grapevine. Joining Kayode Bakare and myself in the studio, we've got our analyst, Myst. How you doing, girl?
I'm good. What's up?
Just, this is your voice, so I'm going to collect it. We also have Chef Jeff in the studio, the shiny domed one. How are you doing, Chef Jeff?
Good morning. Quick shout out to naria. Just had twins. Congratulations.
Yes, indeed. And last but certainly not least, we got a special guest in the studio. We did tweet about him. He's here, almost my Dada boy gang. Look at them. His name is Alpha. Alpha, how you doing this morning?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Excellent stuff. Great to have you here. Now, for those you don't know, you gonna learn today. Okay, do make sure you join us in conversation on our social media platforms,
Most
though.
definitely, you can reach out to us up on WhatsApp. That's 0809-444-091. Also on Twitter, you can reach out to us using the hashtag Grapevine981.
That hashtag is a major key because we've already tweeted links to songs that we will be previewing this morning. At least we'll start off with Ocean Boy. This one is by Alpha, and it's off a new album that he's just dropped. So, Alpha, can you introduce yourself a little bit just before we listen to a bit of your music and then talk about your album, which you've dropped as well?
Yeah, like a single I dropped like last year, but it's still part of the album.
Yeah, I have to say, this is the first thing I heard him perform a couple of months ago at the first coronation. I actually watched him perform, and that stuck in my brain. I was like, "There's a wavy." Anyways, we're gonna play the song for you. There's a video out for it as well, so we're gonna play it, come back, and have a discussion about it. I can see Myst is ready. She's like, "I have my notes. I listened. I'm ready to give you some constructive feedback." Ladies and gentlemen, sit back, relax. Welcome inside the Grapevine.
There goes another rapper in them tight jeans. Your girl listens to me flow in her sleep. Dreams, I knew I would produce this team. And I got the keys, not like DJ Khaled, more like my Dean keys. Stay hungry, but don't like the finger that feeds you. These cats around me get beefy, man, I'm wavy, pass me that seafood. I make the beats and I write the songs and I mix the tracks, I don't need you. Ain't nobody trying to be you. Matter of fact, I don't see you. Cause all I ever used to do was daydream. Now I'm thinking out the box, I'll be 18. I don't really I'll be 18. I don't really I don't about the main street cause I'm on my own.
Alright, studio. All right, it's a little bit wavy in the studio. If you're watching us on YouTube, you understand what I mean. But let's go over to our analyst in the studio. Guys, what did you think about first when I told you we're going to be listening to music from this new rapper who, you know, I randomly chanced upon him on a random chancing day.
Just jumped in.
That's how it was. Yeah. What do you guys think?
I would say, first of all, well done.
Thank you.
Well done. I actually like the fact that he's slightly disrespectful.
Is that rap arrogance?
Even the other song as well, he's just disrespectful. Doesn't really have time for all this political stuff. But here's the other thing that I really like about it is the fact that I now know that he's the one that made the music.
Yes.
And you can tell. It's like the same way you feel when and this is, take this however you want, but you listen to Kendrick Lamar and then see his videos and realize he gave artistic direction and you're like, oh wait, hold on. I can see this. I can actually feel it in the delivery and how it looks. So well done. And then, you know, just a quick question before we move on to Chef Jeff. Is there a particular reason why you wrote this particular song? Are you addressing something that happened?
Happened in the past. Like I just feel at the time I wrote the song, I felt like I was at this point in my music where I didn't want to be bound by all the politics that goes on in the industry. And thank God this is an era where people can actually like reach more people, reach their fans on social media. You don't really need to be signed in 2018 to make good music and reach people. So I felt like that gave me the impetus to make the song.
All right, impetus. Are you here? It's in his lyrics too. That's how he talks in this rap. But Chef, your thoughts?
You know, I'm always pro when people are doing stuff their own way. That's literally what you're doing with this song, and even with your other song. Now hearing the you produce as well, that's like the theme is consistent.
Listen, he doesn't need the rest of you. He mixed and mastered his own stuff. He did it all.
This is really, really good stuff. I have to say, it's really good stuff. I'm really impressed. I think you just have to keep up with that trend. And the message is there, like she said, disrespectful. What more do you want to see?
I'll greet people on the intro and next song.
Has to be. We've seen how rappers, sway a little bit into singing. I mean, we've seen how Drake and some Nigerian artists as well do that. So are we gonna see more of that? Because it's rappers.
On my album, there's a healthy mix. I feel like there are some songs that I did deliberately for the Nigerian market because I felt like you can't be dropping an album in Nigeria in 2018 and not have people like that in mind. So I felt like my fans would be disappointed if I released an album and I didn't do what I know how to do, which is like primarily rap. But then I also wanted to cater to a group of people who would like form the masses and stuff. So I did a bit of that on my album because I can do it. If you can't do it, then
no, absolutely. Listen, Alpha, I was going to say that, I mean, do you feel pressured to do music a type of way? Because to me, what I hear, whether rappers are singing or otherwise, is evolution of music, right? What are you capable of doing?
Exactly.
And how are you capable? How would you feel is the best way to tell your story for this particular song? I mean, but do you feel pressured that you are a rapper, bro?
Yeah.
Only the solid rap.
I don't feel pressure to make it. In fact, there's anytime I sing or I don't rap on the song, I'm doing it to have fun. Like the song on the album called Bolly and Fish, and anybody who knows my serious catalog or discography before now, everybody be like, wait a minute, did I just see Bolly and Fish on this track list? I was having fun. Like songs like that, when I make them, I just want to show yo bro, I can step into this space too. And
it seems to me that you're putting forward the artistic stuff and then the stuff for the masses is staying on the album, and I like that formula.
Exactly.
Because like if you really want to hear that, go play the album. Otherwise, let me do things I want to do it. Because if I think about, let's say Shay's first album, for instance, she did the masses and left the artistic stuff in the background. So I like seeing a reversal of that. I think that's really great stuff.
Guys, support your boy. Half Price is the name of the album. It's out now. We'll come back and listen to another song that even though it may be for the masses, this one had me in my feels. We'll come back to that. But first, let's also go listen to more hip hop because it is flooding the airwaves at the moment, or it's in my front consciousness. And I'll talk about why in a second. But up next, Blaqbonez. Now, he dropped a single. This one is called Play, and Blaqbonez is another new rapper who I also saw on the same platform, which is very interesting. And he's also about to have an album released.
I mixed and mastered the album.
I didn't even know that. Well, let's listen to this song and we'll be back. So here's this song called Play. It's by Blaqbonez, mixed and mastered by Alpha, who's in the studio with us.
Yeah, who's that girl? Who's that girl? You really don't wanna let me ask you. Who's that girl? Who's that girl? I don't know you, but I feel that for a matter, that for a matter. I don't know you, but I did. Grace for a wisdom. Hey, I don't show so much emotion. Hey, I just wanna go with emotion.
All right, we're coming back in studio.
But I know you walk.
All right, that one is called Play. It's by Blaqbonez. This one comes off his album that will be out later on this month, Bad Boy Black, on the 31st. In the studio with us, though, we have a special guest named Alpha, and Alpha was also involved in the mixing and mastering of this album, which is some fascinating stuff. And we're going to get to you. We have questions. But guys, your thoughts on this song when you heard it?
I don't know. I like it. It's like a background vibe kind of thing. And I kind of see your influence in this as well. I just feel it's a little bit too auto-tuned for my liking, to be honest. But otherwise, good potential.
Death to auto-tune.
We're all about natural singers
here.
But
having said that, though, I mean, it is the sound of the times. So, I mean...
Is it?
Yeah, it is, actually. It's painful. What's then? It is painful to have to admit that as a singer, but it is sometimes, especially for rappers. When they bring out their vocals, I feel like it's just the sound that they think should be on it. And I understand that. I mean, if it works for you, it doesn't. I think this song actually sounds really good. I mean, well done.
Thank you.
On the mixing. We're gonna have to talk. But like I said, this is I like the song. I actually like, and this is weird, I really don't usually like mainstream songs. Any song that hits and bangs, usually I'm just like, bleh. But not this time. I actually really like this song, and I think I'm looking forward to hearing the album and possibly critiquing a bit more. But hopefully, I just like the whole thing.
Okay.
On the contrary, though, I like auto-tune songs, and I'll tell you why. Because here's the reason why.
As we all just stare at Kayode.
not in all cases though, but I like them because it gives people that can't really sing the opportunity to. And you know that autotune definitely is meant to correct your pitch levels and different things. So people want to try and dominate. Of course, it's not meant to, but it's the new sound. Like Myst mentioned, it's a new sound. We see what Drake does with it. We've seen what the likes of. I mean, it started from the likes of. I remember from Shackles. Mary, you know how it changed their voice. So
even Beyonce uses autotune, but the thing is that there's a level of autotune that you can use that it makes things seem to flow a little bit naturally. Let me put it that way. But otherwise, I mean, for goodness sakes, even you want to use Drake as an example. Go look up a video of him on stage singing "Say My Name."
Okay, well, that's a different ball game.
Not far from the autotune.
Yeah, but I think before we proceed away from this topic, I just like to say that I feel like the reason that they overdo it, quote unquote, is it's the sound they're after. They know it's just supposed to be
but they want it to sound that
but they actually want that sound. Exactly. So because I understand that that's the difference here, I'm like, whatever, have fun.
Lagos, let's take a very quick break. We'll be back in just a few seconds to talk a little bit more about this and of course why it is that we have hip hop on the brain this morning. Keep listening. You're listening to the Grapevine on Smooth 98.1.
And you're on Nigeria's #1
station. Though. We don't have to talk.
Chef, 30-something seconds.
Because that's the thing, I'm always whinging about the production. Like after you're done singing and you've made the body work, and then you want to give it to somebody, then they murder it. I'm like, dude, all you needed to do, I've done all the work. Trust me, I know I did all the work. I did my homework 12 times. I went over it. I used Tipex correctors. So just let me package it. Just bind it. Let me give the teacher. Like, what's wrong
they
with
retyped it in their own words.
They even helped me use pink marker.
That's the challenge with. I think we'll talk about this with mixing and mastering and producing at the same time. How do you separate these? How do you separate both of them?
Yeah, mixing helps me. Mixing helps me my production. I feel like they both go hand in hand. But some producers that don't know how to mix, they just live with mixing engineers at their side. When they finish making their beats, they pass.
I wish I'm gonna say
no comment to suffer. What my mama? Back in. If you're just tuning in, you're listening to the Grapevine on Smooth 98.1. The sound in the background is Alpha's song YahooBoy Music. This is the final track off of his album Half Price. Alpha is in the studio with us. Alpha, say what's up to the good people of Lagos.
Yeah. What's up? I'm really glad to be here.
I have to say, listen, this YahooBoy Music I'm not a YahooBoy, as you declare at the end. Also, officer, not I. But these are settings. You know, like, but it's such a relatable song. It's something that a lot of people can definitely relate to. Why did you make this track? Was this one of your commercial offerings?
Not really. I didn't make it because I wanted to make a commercial song. I made it because that week there was a lot of banter. I don't know what that was.
The club? Yeah.
Exactly. It was that week where they exactly where they barged into that club, and I was like, wait, like I can actually make a song about this from the perspective of a Yahoo boy. Let me just dive into their minds and see why they kind of like say what I'm doing is right. Explore the reasons why they feel like, okay, let me go ahead and do this thing, feed my family, all those reasons.
Social commentary, it's reality.
Exactly. And I said I don't want to now play the judge or jury. I now decided to come from like a funny angle, like comical angle. Yeah.
Listen, good job.
I love that you take a backstory towards your writing. A lot of people don't do that. They just keep on throwing things out there, and then that's why we
things that are lies, bro. We know where you live.
I mean,
you're not balling.
I think
you don't have any chicks with you.
To be with the likes of MI, man. You got enough potential for that.
Thank you. Shout out to MI.
Absolutely. Lagos, if you're just tuning in as well, just before the break, we also listened to a song called Play by Blaqbonez. And that was that particular song. And also the album, I think, is also mixed and mastered by Alpha, who again is in the studio. So just a multi-talented individual. He's not just a rapper. He creates the music. He writes the beats. He doesn't need you really. And he says so in the music. He's not really checking for you. If you're wasting his time, he's going to do it by himself. I know why he's laughing here. This is what she said. I'm repeating your words.
Exactly.
Just say it with your chest. But we've got a few messages that are coming through this morning, so let's get to those messages as well.
This one says, my name is Biodo. Alpha's rap song is very
boyfriend MI. Explain yourself. Well, this song comes in from Shewa Dibacho.
It has awesome slight burner feels, and anything with slight burner feels is great for me. Who sang the song?
I think it is it Alpha you're talking?
I think that's Play.
That's Play. It might be Play. He's talking about Blaqbonez.
Yeah.
Okay. But again, up on our Twitter handle, just use that hashtag Grapevine981. You'll see a lot of this stuff. This one is in from Nini, who says, I love this song by Bad Boy Black. And Blaqbonez says, I love the beat, my type of song. But before that was The Truth, talking about Ocean Boy. There you the truth, you know? As up and down. Then know what you're delivering, have a plan. Don't just do it and then be mad.
Spoken like a true fitness guru.
I'm just saying, I hate the gym, but we work out, son. Do it. It's part of your job.
Preach.
Beyonce does it in heels.
Yep.
Don't play with us. You come out with you're the best. No, you not, bro. Still, let's go in and talk about messages. So hip hop is on the brain because LAMBAugust, and that is an acronym for Loose Cannon and AQ, who are dropping an album at the end of this week. We'll actually get them in on Thursday, maybe Tuesday. We'll figure it out. Young Den be dropping the album Young Denzel finally since last year November. Oga I'm calling you out, please. We have been waiting, but it's okay. We keep waiting. 20. Pay attention.
Tell them.
But the thing is that they all come around at the same time, though. I mean, usually, I'm guessing they're just gonna all share the record money. Otherwise, you don't want to become Pete's wife. Say like Beyonce is gonna put out an album. Anybody's like in the pipeline, it's like, oh, let me just wait small and then come back in the picture. I don't know.
I'm really curious to see what Loose Cannon's gonna put out at the ground for so long. He always steps. MI has proven himself time and time. Interesting to see.
Well, I won't use the exact word she used because it's not really nice, but Donald Trump made the word famous. But guys, what do you think of this one? It's not the first time this airline has been called out, but she does it vociferously.
Look, honestly, do you know how many times, like, we're going to go and do this thing, we need to take the first flight out. They will not be doing it like Molo service, you know. The buses know. So at last, we're going to have to keep everybody, regardless of why you have chosen to fly at that time. It's like your plans make no difference. So I totally empathize. I sympathize. I feel her pain. And I really do think at some point they need to shape up and stop taking their customers for granted.
All right. Okay, Jeff, anything?
I don't know. I mean, like, I get where she's coming from, but I would rather listen to the angers of the masses. I'm not really going to believe that, and I can't really follow the whole I lost millions of naira because it's like, I'm not.
The rich also cry, bro.
I know that part. I know that part, but I just feel like this is more like the story of the masses that is there every day. You know, let's be putting that there, so the pressure is a whole lot more than that.
Yeah, but I think that's the good thing about her even saying it in the first that they've obviously not been listening to the masses because maybe they don't have the platform that she does. So maybe now that she has voiced it very, very publicly and in a very acidic way, maybe they will, listen. Because there are now many comments on that.
All I know is I said I let my money speak for me. I no longer fly said airline, but let's keep it moving.
Thank you.
Up next, speaking of people that might be suing other people, Falz is saying that, listen, them taking This Is Nigeria off the airwaves and saying that It is, I think they called it vulgar language. I have to find this particular, vulgar in contravention of section 361 and 31322 of its constitution. That's the NBC. Now, everyone who works in broadcast has had interactions with the NBC, as Kayode looks at me very closely. But I want to know what you guys think about this particular move. Do you think what is vulgar about this is Nigerian? What are your thoughts?
There's a line here that they specify. This is Nigeria. Look how we're living now. Everybody be criminal. I just put that one on the air. Therefore, ladies and gentlemen that are listening, did you hear anything vulgar about that particular element there? No. People are feeling, obviously some people feel attacked. I don't know, maybe some politician somewhere pulled some strings and said, no, it must never play this again on the radio. I don't know. But we have to be very careful. I mean, on one hand, people are trying to protect the image of Nigeria. People are throwing what's the real story out there. Then, it's up for you to change and not be shutting their voices down.
Alpha, what do you think about this?
I think first of all, the song was a bold move by Falz. I feel like when you're in that position, that's exactly what you should be doing with your platform.
Yeah.
Talking about injustices and stuff in the society.
Boom.
At my level, when I was making YahooBoy music, for instance, one of the reasons why I made it funny and why I didn't attack the whole issue was, they can just shut small me down somewhere. So I had to come from a particular angle. But I feel like if Falz has recognized his power now as an artist and his level, and he chooses to put that type of song out and carefully wrote the song to make sure that there were no vulgar lines and stuff, and then people still decide, or the NBC or whoever it is decides to say, this song should be taken off air, I think it's just unfair. And if he wants to sue, he's a lawyer. I'm guessing he would probably,
So perhaps we should look at it this way. There's an argument in here for public interest, right? And I do understand that what the NBC is blanket statements that are often made, and not everyone can always tell, let's be very frank, when something is said in irony, because I'm certainly not a criminal. I know if you are, but I do understand the context in which this was said. But in the interest of the public interest, perhaps the NBC and musicians, whichever bodies representing musicians, do need to sit down and have a very frank conversation about, in this day and age, what needs to pass and what shouldn't. I think maybe
it just seems
forward.
bullish, doesn't it? Telling them, and the choice of words is actually very wrong. Vulgar should not have been it. It should have been like, this is a misrepresentation of our nation.
Exactly.
In which case, nobody's going to argue, because a lot of people are saying, but me, I'm not a criminal. But me, I'm not a criminal. Can you just blanket everybody and say we're all criminals? But they should not have used that word vulgar, because because of that, they can actually lose a court case, because there is a dictionary definition for that word.
Well, it depends on how vulgar is defined within the code. So we also have to be aware of these things.
But this is not the first time they've used this word. I mean, I remember a couple of years ago on the Grapevine, we were talking about a similar case where it was like we didn't know why the song was being taken off in the first place. So I don't know. This seems to be a running theme with them that they need to sort out.
Well, I think it's a running theme that people who are censored need to sort out, because again, as Nigerians, and I am going to use generally a bit of a blanket term here, when there are problems, we either look for the shortest cord or we don't bother. We're like, oh, well, that's unfortunate. We talk about it. You're not taking any actions. You're not writing real letters. You're not trying to use the law to make things work. So let this be a lesson to all of us, that if we want things to work out a certain way, get up and get involved. Just get involved.
Which is why I'm actually in support of this move. Then there'll be some answers to the questions being asked.
Okay, when we come back, we're going to talk about CIARA. Well, actually, I'm just going to say now before we take this break, CIARA's released a new single. If you haven't seen her Instagram, on my chest.
That village dance.
Oluwake is ready. So I'm just saying, Freak Me is a song that CIARA has with TEKNO. She did a little bit of dancing on her Instagram. If you haven't seen, please just be involved, because now we did Russia. Lagos, we're coming back in just a bit for the rest of Grapevine on Smooth 98.1.
That was legendary.
But is that not what people say? I remember when someone said, they were like, have you seen CIARA? So I was like, CIARA what? And I was like, Jesus is Lord. I have to practice, guys.
I'm telling you.
There's skill sets you should have in your life as a woman, and I say this openly.
Imagine just wearing that loincloth and dancing.
What? Mama. I have a plan for you.
Okay, you'll be shaking his hand for yourself. Come on. Gideon.
Sambarita. Yo. And so people are out here judging this woman. I'm like, better be learning, study.
Tiwa Savage.
Practice every night.
America is doing Tiwa Savage. Yeah, let's go.
We're back in, guys. Studio, mics are up. Welcome back. We are still talking entertainment inside the Grapevine here on Smooth. Special guest Alpha is in the studio. He is a rapper, he's a producer, he's a mix and master. Thank you so much, guys. I'll send you an invoice after. That's how we roll. But then he's also got an album out. It's called Half Price. Stumbled across his music not too long ago. I do think it is worth checking out. And I think the general consensus on the Grapevine was you should probably get involved in Alpha Muzik. He's just 26?
Yeah.
Young cats. And I heard that, when I heard that line, I was like, my chest, why, Lord? I could have been doing things earlier in my life.
I'm telling you.
But we do think he's well on his way to something great. Lots of messages are coming through, so let's see if we can get a few of them up on Twitter. Olori Africa sends in this message.
Half price. Please continue to use auto-tune. Some people don't like my music because I don't use auto-tune or even equalizer in my own songs. But please, do what's trendy.
You need to say it with emphasis. Please continue to use auto-tune. No, that's what she says. But Caleb, Radio Sketch, sends in this tweet saying, please update on Loose Canaan. It's been long overdue for him. I love that guy because of his unique rap style. I'm telling you, my love, yeah, no, it's exciting. I will say that I have already listened to the album, but there's listening for everybody else today. But let's carry on. More still coming in. Dupe from Sierra Leone on WhatsApp says, in fact, I'm downloading Alpha's album. By download, I hope you mean purchase.
Hopefully.
Yeah, but that's a nice one.
Yeah.
Only smart rappers drop smart albums. Good one, Alpha. Keep it up. This is David from Songo.
Excellent. Please note that Alpha is ALPHA. He actually spelled it properly. So please, when you are searching for him to purchase his music, spell it that way. Ugo Machidoze says, wait, he did what? How can they say that they should ban his music because he said we are criminals? Wait, did the president call us criminals out of this country? No. Lazy youth. Lazy. There's a difference. Let's keep it moving, though. Up next, let's talk about international news. Aretha Franklin, everyone has been on the edge of their seats wondering whether or not the Queen of Soul will recover. And hopefully she will. We have been sort of monitoring the situation. She's been gravely ill. Some reports, I know that some news agencies are saying that she is in a hospice, which sort of indicates that she is about to pass on. But guys, Aretha Franklin, I mean, what did you guys think when you heard about this, when you heard that she was this ill? Because I didn't even know how ill she was.
I just thought, like, Lord, now, come on, another one. I thought I was just going to go and leave us just like that. But I guess, life, I really wish she wasn't going to be sick to go. Pancreatic cancer is not a joke.
It's painful.
It's very, and hospice, like I lost my mom last year. She went into a hospice, and usually that's just like the end. When they're like, there's nothing we can do for her anymore. Let's just try and make her comfortable till she goes. So I'm really sad, I won't lie. Very sad.
All right. Well, we will be standing by for the news. When we do find out, we will let you know and we'll keep you updated on that. But let's move away to slightly more happy news. Justin Bieber, the Bieb man, he proposed. But he says, listen, HAILEY and I, we're not getting it till next year. Your thoughts?
God bless them. God bless them.
You can't rush them. Please. We're happy that they're engaged. Let them get married anytime.
Fair enough.
Old. I feel like wasn't this kid
that you are old?
Just recently, and next thing you know, it's like just getting married. Like what's going on here?
Uncle Jeff.
Uncle, embrace
I'm just a young 20.
Let's let Alpha tell the story.
I hope that this lasts. I hope it goes longer than what we see from the media.
He just seems so happy right now. He's saying Jesus.
I am singing Frank Ocean American Wedding in my head right now.
Okay.
But the thing is, they have Jesus. So alas, he will show them the way and keep them together.
Okay. We like that. That's beautiful. But let's come over to Alpha, who's in the studio. Alpha, listen, there are a lot of people that are catching on to your music this morning, and we're so happy we could sort of be involved in this your journey a little bit. Tell us about what music has in store for you and why you sort of decided that this is definitely the money-making path for you? Because it's one thing, I think, for people to do music because they just want to be creative, in which case, do that in your backyard, that's your business. Do you want to make money from your music, and how do you think you're going to do that?
I've always wanted to make money off my music, and I think if there's any statement that backs this up, I think it's the time when my family stays in the East, my family stays in the Owerri, so I moved away. I ran away after my youth service. I sneaked out of the house 2 days after my passing out. My dad hasn't found me yet. But the idea was that I also know that making music in this country is not the easiest thing to do. So I actually did corporate job for 3 years. I did like better suit and tie. It was not easy, you know, but I did that so I could like stabilize, you know, get my place, get my studio up and running and stuff. And then I resigned last year. So I kind of like took a bold step because I feel like it's music or nothing now. Like I'm back and I feel like I'm more experienced in certain things. I learned
in running a business.
I don't know how much I know about everything. I just know that I'm better equipped than I was in 2014 when I was just putting music out on the internet without like aimlessly, you know. But now I think like I'm taking better, like more calculated steps. It's not easy, but then I feel like, you know how you feel you can do something, so you go ahead and try it.
Yes.
So that's exactly what I'm doing now.
Do you feel the corporate environment helped to give you some kind of a structure to how you approach
I'm
work?
telling you, like it really helped, and I was blessed to work with one of the best people that you could ever work with. My boss, I became like her executive assistant, so
Nice.
I learned a lot from her, and she ran the organization like a bank. So a lot of the stuff I learned there has really helped me, like in my music.
So what I hear you saying is that women should take over the world.
Women are poised now more than ever to take over the world.
That
like,
was a
I'm
lip
telling you,
song.
I'm all for that because she was, in fact, I feel like more people should get to know her or meet her, but you know, it's just one of those things. I'm lucky that I worked with her.
I'll rush you for number after. It's okay.
Yeah.
In your case though, you said that I mean, in this day and age, you don't need a record label to sign you. You just need to know how to use social media and the likes, and also produce your jams. So if a record label does come calling,
yes,
and other things related,
yes,
is it something that you're open to doing?
It depends. Now there's more power in the hands of the artist. I was watching this interview that Mr. Easy did with Beat FM some time ago, and then I realized that these days artists even go ahead and sign stuff like licensing deals. They don't even sign 4-year contracts or 5-year contracts to just sit in the label and make music for them. These days, labels like in different parts of the world, in regions like South America, North America, they're like, yo, let's license your music. And then
Fam, shouts to Tech. Also, that Ring Back Tune is not on the airwaves, so
maybe they're actually working.
And then
Just saying. Okay, on that note, I think we are done. Idris Elba just might be James Bond. We've been back forth about this.
He's not going to be, and he said so in his following tweets.
So don't be angry now.
No, goodness.
But
his name is
Elba.
No,
It
wouldn't be
your
nice.
hopes up. It's
No,
not
I
going
don't
to
even
happen.
want it.
I don't think it would
went
be
that
nice.
way. They still will
wouldn't.
not pick him. That's the
I
truth.
wouldn't
We had
like
Eric
it.
Bana, we had tons of.
As
please.
It's not going to
They should stop
happen.
trying to pander to us.
Yeah,
Stop
please,
it.
please, yeah.
We're not
Give us
complaining.
Shadi. This morning, please find him up on social media platforms. We've tweeted his song, we've tweeted his handle. He's Alpha_Muzik.
Alpha_NU.
There you go. He's a talented fellow, guys. Don't just feel like you were amongst the first. Just try support your own. And also please find our analysts up on their social media handles.
Yep. Find me at Chef3000 Twitter and Instagram.
At MYST_S on Instagram and Twitter.
I will still be here, but if you go over to video, I'm lit, and I kind of shed some tears, but you need to find out why. We'll be back for more conversations. I'll be back. Keep listening.